friends? Welcome to What's Going On, your weekly roundtable where we just hang out and chill and talk. And you're invited to be a part of it. Thanks for watching, everybody out there in streaming land. I'm Ben. I'm the host. I got some of the people who I think are just really fun people to chat with, and I have them on the show. And yeah, we're all just going to tell some stories. You're a part of it too, so feel free to chime in with questions, comments, anything like that. We'll throw it up on screen. We'll talk about it. It'll be a blast. I'm just going to bring them out and they can introduce themselves, everybody. So here's Rachel, Katie, and Justin. I was going to say I, of course, have Rachel with me again, but that felt like sort of not giving you your own chance to say I'm here. You know, I didn't want to steal it from you, Rachel. So please start us off. Let people know that you're here.
Thank you for not stealing my voice, Ben.
Hey, what's up, Laurent? Thanks for watching. Hey, Tina.
Every week I get to be on the show is, of course, a pleasure and a privilege. So thank you for inviting me anew every single week.
You're really a co-host at this point. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, every show I'm just like, I think this is a show where Ben's like, enough. That's been enough.
Nope. Every week you're just a guest because I think it's fun that way. I think it's like, who do we have? Oh, we have Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Don't give me too much rope, though. Don't give me rope.
I know what happens when that happens.
Too much rope. My name's Rachel. Obviously, I'm part of the channel. I'm one of the executive producers or exec prod of the channel. I think it's usually how it's spelled out. I'm on my phone because my computer is bad, but I'm really happy to be here tonight, regardless of the device.
Rachel, your phone looks so good that I wouldn't have known, especially since you have it in the correct horizontal mode. So it's like, you know, I would never have known.
You wouldn't have known?
No. I mean, now we know because you told us, but I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Broke the illusion, damn it.
JK, I'm on a very nice desktop.
Well, thanks for being on the show yet again, Rachel. Katie, what's going on? Thanks for being here.
Hello. Thank you for having me. This is a fun show. I like a show where there's no preparation involved. So that's good.
Yeah.
I don't have anything I'm not like doing anything cool. My main activity right now is Dungeons and Dragons. So
that's cool. Are you in the middle of a campaign right now?
I am.
Nice.
My number one goal is to try to fuck a vampire, and I'm actually not going as well as you might think. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't think vampires, and we could get into this a little bit if we want, but I wouldn't think vampires would want sex without feeding. Like maybe they, right? I think.
I didn't even ask me. I might, whatever. We haven't even got that.
Gotcha. Like you might be okay with that as well. I think the trick would be to just fuck a vampire without having to like deal with any of the vampire shit. You know what I mean? Like unless you wanted that. Yes, Rachel.
Okay, so obviously I'm not a vampire. I'm just an ally.
Obviously, you're not. You're just an ally.
Obviously, I'm not a vampire. You've seen me during the day. I've been walking. But
it is weird that she makes me invite her into the house every single time. Though she's like, "You have to invite me." And I'm
oh my god, this person! I don't know who Puff Pfeiffer is, but it's definitely Strahd that I'm going for. So
there you go. Nice.
Cool. I'm glad somebody can understand me.
No, definitely. Do you remember when Resident Evil Village was coming out and there was that tall, horny vampire lady that everyone was like thirsting over?
Yes.
It's very much like it's understandable that you would want to have sex with her. You're not the only one, is what I'm trying to say.
Vampires are horny. It's like a number one characteristic of vampires.
Very quickly before we go into this, let's just introduce Justin because that was a great point, and then we'll talk about fucking vampires. But Justin, welcome to the show. Please let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, not much is going off me. Same old. Although I am kind of like having like this very rarely happens to me, so I'm just going to go on it while I can. But I posted a TikTok yesterday, and it's gotten like 4,400 views and over 700 likes. So for me, that's like woohoo,
and going a little bit viral.
Yeah, exactly. And it's literally just me reciting a monologue from Rick and Morty. because like the catalyst, I guess I was thinking about, it's a great monologue because long story short, there's this alien that's like, yeah, I eat babies and I have space AIDS, but you two suck because you hate yourselves and I can't help that. Have fun. That's like that's the
abridged version. That wasn't
yeah, exactly.
That wasn't the whole thing.
Are you ready for your voice to get stolen and used over and over again?
No, totally. Like that's, I mean, life is short and I want to make sure I have found a way to immortalize myself as quickly as possible. So the sooner I can get that out of the way, the more I can get onto other things. So.
I do wonder if memes are not the modern day equivalent of the Grecian urn, right? Like if in the future that will be all like, they'll just be a meme and they'll be like, who was this person? They must have been really important. They made a disc of him with a thing, but it's just a meme. I don't know.
You're like, here went the boy.
Yeah, but Pfeiffer, I also know this monologue. Yeah, and thank you for admitting that you do as well. We can get through it all together. We all know it. This is great. So now that we're all, yeah, Kate, just say yes. Yeah.
I'm great.
Now that we all know each other, let's get back to talking about fucking vampires. They are notoriously sexy, and Rice knows this, right? I feel like Lestat was a very sexy vampire.
I can't think of I mean, is there even? I can't even think of one like non-sexy vampire.
But I feel like the sex is always attached to vampire stuff. It's never just like I want to have sex with you and that's it, right? I want to do vampire stuff with somebody else, and then I'm going to come and have sex with you. It's always like I want to have sex with you.
I'm like totally fine also being turned into a vampire, but I've told it's not that easy either.
Yeah, right. Don't they just eat enough to not turn you and then keep you?
Unless they fall in love with you or something like that.
Yeah, I forget. I feel
I'm playing a long game here.
I don't know if you, Ben, if you watch Vampire Diaries.
I do not watch Vampire Diaries.
So that's a universe where people turn into vampires all the time. I think it's because those guys are like, yeah, let's just flip the script. Let's just like have a lot of people turning into vampires. Like Caroline is a blonde who is like insecure and like not very cool, and then she becomes a vampire and she becomes so cool.
And so their point is to try to turn as many people as possible in the universe, like basically.
I don't think that's like their I don't think that's like their mission, but that just because of the physics of that show has a lot of plot. Like a lot of things happen in Vampire Diaries.
But if everyone's cool, then like no one's cool. I don't really like this idea. I want to be a special vampire.
I see, yeah.
Also, whose diary is this? A vampire's diary, or is it a diary of somebody who knows of like? Is the vampire like I turned into a bat today? It was fucking crazy, like, or is it the Vampire Diary? What is the diary?
So I forget the exact framing device. I'm assuming if there is an actual diary in the show, it would be Elena's. Elena is this high school girl. Of course, it's a high school girl who is torn between two different vampires who are brothers, who are both turned during the antebellum period by another woman who looked exactly like her. And so they find her and she's like a doppelganger.
I can't believe I don't watch this show. There's nothing like a drama. I will be on this show.
Based on Katie's face, I was like, Katie's in. I can
This
just
is
it's like Twilight meets Orphan Black, which doesn't sound like it would work, but I'm convinced it does.
It's pretty good.
What is it? A CW show?
So I should say I think it's over. Although one of the spin-offs, they had like at least one spin-off, so that one might still be going, called The Originals. But I watched it out of college, and I believe it was CW, and I think it's at least 9 seasons.
You can watch it on Netflix, everybody. It's on Netflix right now.
Oh,
all the
yeah.
seasons. So there you go.
Great.
Thank
you.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the executive producers is Kevin Williamson, who did the Scream series. So it's actually like pretty clever. It's pretty smart.
Maybe this will help me get closer to Strad Daddy.
It's gonna help you.
That's the vampire daddy that I'm trying to get on.
What is the biggest issue you're running into? Just the lack of interest from Strad Daddy?
Yeah. I think I came on a little too strong. I think he might not. I'm not sure. He might not like an assertive woman, so I might have to tone it down.
Is this an NPC or is this another person in your party?
No, it's just a character.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not another. But I mean, someone's gonna have to respond as him, so it's gonna be real awkward for me and my friends.
This is great.
Yeah.
I totally feel that. One time I tried to, I was playing the first Mass Effect game, and one of the characters I tried to, I don't even think it was an option to romance them, but I thought maybe I could maybe plant the seeds to be planted later. But
for those that don't know, this is a game where you can romance a lot of different characters who are on your ship, and you can have relationships with multiple characters.
Yeah. Exactly. At one point, I thought something was going to happen, but then they were like, we should focus on the mission. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot get, even in the digital realm, I get cockblocked. This is supposed to be my escape, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. And your friends should support that.
I don't want to lose you as a friend, Justin.
Yeah.
You're like, come on. We've been to different planets together.
I mean, who's it going to hurt, really? Like, we just try it once. If we don't like it, we don't like it.
Bay Linton, I play Mass Effect for the ass effect. There you go.
Guess what's up.
Pfeiffer saying he started a peasant rebellion that overthrew the bosses in our campaign. All sorts of fun stuff that you can do in that game. That's a fun game. I feel like other David Thomas would have strong opinions on this game as well. So we've talked about vampires having sex, which is a great way to start off the show. I don't think we've come to a conclusion. Though I was thinking the only vampires maybe that don't feel sexy in some ways are the Lost Boys, because I feel like she's sexy, the vampire lady, but Kiefer Sutherland isn't really. He doesn't care about sex. I think that's why she strays to Jason. What's his name? Right, because he's more interested in being a vampire with the guys.
That is the end of a lot of sexual relationships.
Yeah, it's like, let's hang upside down from a bridge when the train comes. She's like, no, let's fucking bone.
Yeah.
I will say that Jason Patrick turning into a vampire is very much my jam. I kind of feel like that movie has a bad ending because it doesn't end with him just being a vampire. He has to save his humanity or whatever. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Go full vampire. You were there for it.
Yeah. What's it called? Go vamp or go home. That's my.
I do love that movie though. That's probably my favorite vampire movie. I know they made a TV show of that too, right? Or they're making one, but I'm surprised that they haven't remade that movie. That seems like a ripe for the picking. I'd watch it. I'm just saying.
As a call to action, if anybody has any romantic advice on how to woo a vampire. For the record, I'm a very hot sorceress, so.
What's your character's name?
Myrtle.
Very hot. Myrtle, very hot. If anybody has any ideas about how to help Myrtle bet a vampire, throw it in the chat. We'll throw it on screen and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Do you know if they have a preferred type or something? I mean blood type, obviously.
Yeah. I could be that type.
Yeah. I would think that you'd want to perfume your blood somehow, or eat certain food. It's almost not to get too graphic, but
we're gonna get to
what's the blood equivalent? Yeah, what's the blood equivalent of a guy eating pineapple, right? What's
your
that?
period? So, all right. I'm playing this game with 2 gay guys. So next time we play, maybe it's 3. I'll just talk a lot about my period. I'm sure they'll really love it.
Ross says wear clothes with a high neckline. Got to leave a lot to the imagination.
Oh, yeah. Smart.
Yeah. Don't give it away.
Yeah. You're saying I'm too thirsty. Okay, I got it.
Get some turtlenecks.
I love it.
I love the idea that a sexy outfit for a vampire. You know, how you wear dresses with those the boob hole, the keyhole.
Yeah.
For the vampire, it'd be a turtleneck, but then you have a little keyhole.
Just right on the vein, right here.
Yeah, right on the vein.
That's smart. So like the
You're like,
opposite of a choker, like everything else but that. That's nice.
exactly.
That's a cool trend. I like that.
Yeah, they're like, did you see the neckline? Did you see the throat line on that girl?
Hell yeah.
See, when
She
you know
wanted
you
it.
yeah, when you know you can't have it, that makes you want it more.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a good picture to share of Lady Dimitrescu. How do you say her name, Justin?
Dimitrescu, I think.
Yeah, this is the sexy vampire lady from Resident Evil right now that the internet is like freaking out about.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I guess like what's sexy about her is almost her like her attitude more than anything.
Yeah.
But like people have been like making all sorts of weird mods of her, and like it's just really weird. So
Also,
that's her.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what they like, Ben, is that she's really tall.
Yeah.
She's
like
really
9
big.
feet tall.
Yeah, I think that's like what like when people found that out, and they're like, "Oh, is she ducking under those doorways with her like boobies?" That's when things changed.
I think she's pretty hot. I just Googled her. I mean, I think she's got great style.
She does have great style.
No, definitely. I mean, I think also when you look at all the other villains in that game, she is objectively like the hottest because one of them's like a gear dude, another one looks like like a frog with a bunch of eyes on it, and like I don't know, like
yeah. If you're thirsty for anybody in that game, it's her.
Okay, so like I don't want us to. Okay, I don't know. I know this isn't about like having a discussion about who's sexier, but I feel like
is it not?
Heisenberg has his own following. Like people think that they call him like Metal Daddy, like Crush Me with Your Gears Daddy. Like they like him too.
So we have to show a picture of Heisenberg now for people. This is the guy from Resident Evil who apparently also has a following. Oh, now see, I get that. Hold on, let's pull this up. I totally understand how you would think that this guy was kind of hot. He's got a Sam Elliott vibe going a little bit.
I feel like he'd be played by Jeff Bridges in the movie.
I think this is like the Boston problem, which is we confuse facial hair for hotness. And
I agree with you on this one because I don't like this one. You're right.
It's not
he looks
the
like
same.
a dupe there.
But Ben, look for topless mods of Heisenberg.
Oh wow!
All right, I'm treading dangerous territory here.
It's legal.
Did you
Am
say
I also going to get
or like shirtless?
Yeah, shirtless. I'm sorry, topless is what I mean by shirtless.
Yeah, it's like topless. That's like then we might get.
You are getting an.
Contains adult content, so I don't
please
feel
don't,
safe about clipping on that one. Let's try another one. There we go.
Oh, let's see if we can get a.
Let's see if we can get a.
Get him in action.
Wow!
There we go.
Oh, wow.
He is very.
Yes.
Yeah, the cowboy aesthetic doesn't do it for me. Sorry. I don't know. I see a cowboy. I just think racism, and then I'm not horny anymore.
I also think that cowboys were super dirty. Like they bathed like once every few weeks tops. Like it was like a thing. They were like, oh, we're going into town and we're taking a bath. Like they were fucking filthy. It was disgusting. You don't want to fuck a cowboy.
Ben, how often do you think vampires bathe?
Yeah.
I feel like vampires don't smell though because they're immortal. That's the thing. They don't rot or anything. They just don't smell. They kind of like are preserved.
Yeah. I don't think undead can smell.
We have a Lady Dimitrescu fan.
Yeah.
For sure. Did you say they can't smell? I think they could smell.
I don't. I mean, They're
But
not
only blood,
real humans. No, I mean, they can smell blood, but I don't think they, as a body, smell.
Well, then you have to ask, can they taste the blood then if they can't smell? Because don't you have to be able to smell the taste?
No, I'm saying they themselves can smell, but we can't smell them.
Got you. I
Hey,
understand
who's
now.
on first?
Yeah. It's a really macabre version of that.
Yeah.
No, they can't smell. What do you mean?
I'm like, well, then they can't taste.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. They can't feel. That's our shortstop.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, they can smell. They don't have a smell. There they go.
Got it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well said. We're talking some vampire biology here. Great way to start off the show. I love it. I'm going to tell a story now that it's a story that I was reading about in the news this week. I found it to be more nightmare fuel here as we were talking about vampires. They're sexy. This isn't very sexy. So this woman in Pennsylvania, she bought a house and they waived the inspection because they're trying to beat out a bunch of other people. Never a good idea to waive the inspection. And then it turns out that the house was home to 460,000 bees. There were 3 different full colonies of bees that have been living in this house for over 30 years. It was
like in the wall?
Yeah, like in all the walls. Like it was their house at that point.
Oh my god!
I could see like some hipsters from New York like really loving that vibe for real.
On the seller's disclosure, it said bees in the wall, and that was it. And I think because we didn't see them, and 2, we were just so floored that we actually found land in the school district that was within our price range, I didn't really ask questions about those bees.
Oh my god! Oh, that's like the Temple of Doom, the bug pit. That's like, except worse because they sting.
35 years he thinks they've been living in those walls, and to get rid of them, it cost $12,000.
Do you know? I feel like what? It's the bees' home now.
Yeah,
you can't live here.
Yeah, I sort of feel like that's you move out. You move
Did
out.
it say what kind of bees though?
I think they're honeybees because they have moved to a farm.
I don't know. This could also be a new business opportunity then.
They moved them to the Yerkes Honey Farm, where he keeps his own bees. So, like, this guy took them. He was like, "I'll take your 450,000 bees," which seems like so many bees. Yeah. People are in the chat are hating this. A literal nightmare. They're in the walls. My spine wants to jump out of my body right now. Yeah. Avoid a bunch of this by just going to get an inspection. Never waive the inspection on the house. That's a terrible idea.
Do you have any? Does the article say like how often this could be the case? Like, should we all be worried that there's potentially like a colony of bees in our apartments?
So they didn't think it was a big deal because they bought it in the fall and the winter, and there weren't a lot of bees. So they did say signs of it could be if in the spring and summer you start seeing more and more bees in your house.
Walls start vibrating.
Yeah, if you can hear buzzing at night when you're trying to sleep, then you might have bees in your wall.
Oh my god.
I have so many thoughts about this story, Ben. Thank you for sharing it with us. First of all, what I'm learning, if you have a house full of bees, sell it in the winter. Upload it in the winter. Bees are less active. Second of all, bees in your house are great if you need like a sound machine, if you need like a noise machine to fall asleep. Because I feel like a billion humming bees, I'm like, to me that's hello, bedtime. Take a little nap. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping. This sounds ideal for me.
Yeah, or if you don't like your neighbor, you could just put your vibrator up against the wall, throughout the spring and summer until they convince themselves the walls are filled with bees.
That's called bee lighting.
Yeah.
I feel like you could put a little Bluetooth, little Bluetooth things in there. Oh, this is terrifying. So this is the only picture I can find. Trigger warning for anybody. This is a picture of the staircase in the house.
Oh my god.
And it is pretty terrifying.
I'm not sure I'll ever be ready.
So that's just like one little portion of the wall. That's just like,
oh my god,
one little portion of the wall, and these are all hives down the sort of top of the picture there. Oh, what's going on?
Those are hives. Oh my god, I thought that was insulation.
Yeah, these are all hives. Oh, maybe you're right, but I think they're hives. Yeah, and that's an important portion of their wall where colonies had lived for 35 years. This is what it looked like before removal. So that's just terrifying to me.
Oh god.
And please, just get your house inspected if you're gonna buy a house. I know in this market you're like, I'm just gonna waive that. Don't do it. And if it says, especially if it says bees in the wall under disclosure, it said bees in wall, and the people were like, that's not that big of a deal. How many bees could it be? But like, even if it's one bee in the wall,
question that. I think that would just be bees in the wall would be enough to question.
Enough to be like, can I get a little bit more info on bees in the wall? Like,
I would love it if the scientist, if the scientists like of American Association came out tomorrow and was like, hey, sorry, we thought bees were endangered, but actually we just found this house and never mind.
They're all there. They're all there.
They're all in this house.
Pfeiffer said, looked at that under the stairs and thought Harry Potter, but he's stung to death by bees before Hagrid picks him up.
Oh god, the shortest book, shortest movie in the world. Oh no.
A real honey trap, Babe Wellington, yes. So that's a horrifying thing that I was reading this week that I've not been able to stop thinking about. So I had to share that with everybody. Now it's all in your heads as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't you get sick of having honey covered toast for breakfast every morning?
Yeah. At first you might think it's awesome, right? So much honey. And then maybe they'd be good roommates as long as you're not hurting the queen. Right? Like they could have upstairs. You stay downstairs.
You give the queen the master bedroom, you sleep on the couch.
That's the queen's room. Don't go in there. Oh no. The rest of your house is normal. You just open it up and there's just a giant room-sized hive. That's terrifying.
A literal queen-sized bed.
I'm just imagining like trying to bring like a guy over and be like, okay, heads up. Heads up. They won't bother us. And he's like, who's they? And you're like, okay, I'm getting to that. First of all, just want to say they'll be fine. He's like, who is they? And you're just like, they're bees, okay? There's just a lot of bees.
Or it's just like giving a tour, like a real estate tour. You're like, this is a great house. It's beautiful. It got a lot of room. Don't go in the bee room. That's the bee room. It's full of bees. You just they own that room. The rest of the house is great.
Oh shit.
They own that.
I don't know. I sort of feel like I would be a little bit excited to discover that. I mean, not in a property that I own, but it's a cool
coming around. We're coming around on the bees.
I mean, they're cool. They're cool insects.
They are cool. They're good for the environment. Tina says there's a story from a few years back about an elderly woman who had an upstairs room she never used. One spring, she went to prep the room for her kids, and there was a 6-foot wasp's nest built into the bed.
Oh no!
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we're talking about.
Wasps and honeybees are two different. No.
Yeah, wasps are evil.
Yeah. I wouldn't want that.
That is horrifying. I don't like that. Pfeiffer is telling me this is disturbing. There are weird people, no kink shaming. So there are people who intentionally have the bees sting their dicks to enlarge their dicks. I would think I would think there are better ways to enlarge a penis than that.
Also, very how strategically does that work? Like,
It's just a
invite
giant lump
to
on your
be
dick.
at the right time. Like you find a person that you're feeling, and then you're like, hold on, let me get the bees.
And it can't. The circumference, it can't. It's not like it's going to make it be even, right? It's just going to swell where it stings.
Yeah.
So really, it's just going to be like a giant bumpy penis.
Yeah, it's gonna look like you're gonna look like you have corn in there. It's like,
it's like hives.
It's upsetting.
you got a huge piece of corn on the cob between your legs.
I love the idea. I love the idea of somebody who is like stinging their penis to make it bigger, and they're just like, okay, it's almost even, but they're like, it's almost even. I just need one more prick. It's almost even. It's like one more prick. It's just like a prick.
It's like getting attention. Like, is it over yet?
I don't know. I mean, do the bees consent to this? I don't understand how this happens.
Yeah, that's really weird.
They also have to
no
piss off bees in the process. This just seems like a lot of work when there are pharmaceuticals that they could easily pick up.
Yeah. Also, pumps. Have you ever not heard of a pump?
Yeah, this is really weird. But on a quick trigger, naturally, a bee sting will permanently enlarge penis is bullshit.
Oh, permanent.
That is not true.
Oh,
But that at least makes a little different. It's 3 times more effective and faster than penis pumps and weights. Oh no!
And weights?
What? Weights.
Oh.
You can lift weights with your dick to get it bigger. Apparently, I don't believe this.
Like, if for some reason you're like caught in a swarm of bees,
just take your dick out and make the best of it.
Yeah, exactly. Make the best of it. Look at the bright side.
I cannot think of anything less arousing than anything involving bees. Like, right, just thinking about it makes me want to.
You're already there, so might as well
make the best of it.
Mm-hmm. It's called positive spin.
I think Rachel was so upset by that I think we chased her away.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Sound died. She said she'll be right back. That was terrifying. Putting a weight on my dick and sticking it in a beehive to double up on gains. I can't endorse that, but well done. I mean, what if the bees go for the balls instead? That's a great question. Then you've got it's just there's too much. I don't feel like you can.
There's a lot of risk.
There's a lot of risk there. Yeah.
It'd be an interesting, like, acoustic. I don't know. I just think because I don't know why this is where my brain went, but the buzzing of the bees, but then also the balls slapping as you're like doing,
or orchestra of.
Oh no!
It's like sexy, kinky, insecty stomp.
Oh man, sexy stomp. Yeah.
You mean stomp?
You mean two words that I don't think I've ever
regular stomp.
Regular stomp. Sexy stomp is a redundancy. I don't know if you know.
It's stomp, but they're naked.
Yeah.
I also have an animal-related headline, at least, to share.
Right? Yeah, please. Let's go.
Because I just heard the headline on NPR, nothing more, and I don't know if other people heard this, but apparently recently scientists have decided to reclassify shark attacks as negative encounters with sharks because they want to basically, reframe the outlook on predators. Which I think this was endorsed by Louis C.K. That's what he's been doing on his off time, is working with scientists to reframe what a predator is. But a negative encounter, it does sound a little bit watered down.
I mean, that makes it sound like you just had like an awkward date with a shark or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Though he says, because I'm reading it really quickly, and he said that a lot of shark attacks that aren't like even real attacks are called shark. Like, it says, quote, "Not all shark attacks are created equal, and we certainly shouldn't call bites on kayaks and bites on people the same thing. Nor should we equate the single bite of a 2-foot shark on a surfer's toe with the fatal bite of a 15-foot shark on a swimmer. but that's how the current language treats these incidents. So
I don't know.
assume...
This is towing a dangerous line here. Who's representing the sharks in this case is what I want to know.
It sounds like a PETA thing or something.
Yeah, or like a Men's Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, Oprah, not Oprah, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, I don't remember everyone's names. Whoopi Goldberg being like, was it a shark attack or was it a shark attack?
Yeah. Amazing. Well, there's also like, it could also be, I feel like this is like a trend in Hollywood as well, is to like, let's get inside the villain. You know, we need to know, we need to make them more gentle. Here, watch Cruella for 2 hours.
Oh, so now we're gonna get like Jaws, but the shark's origin story or something?
Yes, exactly. That's a brilliant idea. Somebody write that down.
I mean, we're just in their water when they're biting us. They're not actually... I do agree with this idea that like we do have a fundamental misunderstanding of sharks. Like they're not attacking people because they're man-eaters. This idea of a man-eater is a false a thing, right? Like they might take a bite out of somebody, but like unless it's the movie Jaws, like they're not eating a whole person. Like they'll take a bite of somebody and they'll be like, "Oh, this is gross. This isn't what I normally eat," and they'll let go in some way. But unfortunately, that bite kills somebody. Yeah. So I do understand like the idea of man eaters and sharks that are like hunted like to like near extinction in certain places. I think because of the negative thing. You know what? I'm on board with this. I didn't know I was until
I'm actually, in reality, I'm also on board with it. I'm a big fan of predatory animals in general, but you know.
Yeah, climate change is driving them into new waters. It's true, and driving them. Seals come back. That's why they're on the Cape again, right? Because the seal population came back so strong.
Yeah,
and they eat seals, so it's like that's why they're there.
What I like about this show, what I like about this episode and also this show in general is how every topic we start one place and like we start anti and then we talk ourselves to pro each time.
We talk it out.
What if a bee house was good? What if it works?
I do love this joke, Rachel.
Oh my god.
I was getting pushed off by a much smaller boats.
I kind of really love this idea. I think that someone should make a sketch or some sort of cartoon about the origin story of Jaws.
I love that. I love that.
I like.
Speaking of very tangentially, did you all see Richard Dreyfuss totally destroy his son on Twitter?
No, that's I think what Pfeiffer was just talking about, but I don't know what it is. So explain a little bit more to me.
Yeah. So I think it's Ben Dreyfuss is just like this celebrity man, like celebrity kid / man, and he's just like very annoying on Twitter. Like all his opinions are bad, but they're not bad in a fun way. They're bad in just like I need to get away from this guy to party way. So he was in talking, I forget exactly how the conversation started. It was about bad movies, about actors doing bad movies to pay for stuff. And he's just like, Jaws 4 paid for my, help me get into college. And Richard Dreyfuss is like, this movie got you into college. And Ben Dreyfuss was just like, that wasn't college, that was rehab. And Richard Dreyfuss was just like, sorry, I can never remember which one it was because neither of them took.
Oh
no!
Burn!
And I'm just like, how do you murder your son? How are you allowed to murder your son like that on Twitter? It was a
yeah, he's going back to rehab of some kind after that conversation.
Yeah. I really hope he has the kind of relationship with his son where he's not literally driving his son back into falling off the wagon.
It's a real postcards from the edge type scenario.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's a great joke though.
It's a great joke, and also like if you read his son on Twitter, you're like, he deserves it.
That's my biggest fear when I'm probably / not gonna have kids. But my biggest fear when I thought about having kids, like I'm probably not, but like / really not. But my biggest fear used to be that I was just gonna have an asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you raise them right and like you do whatever, and they're not killers, they're not whatever, they're just assholes, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I can't do anything about that. Except don't dunk on them anytime. Right? Like, I think that's a great response. Because that's a huge fear of mine. It's like, not that my kid would be a jerk. He would just be an asshole. I just
don't like him. Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even get through We Need to Talk About Kevin. That's how like depressing it was. The idea of having like a little shit for a kid. I couldn't even watch the movie about it. I'm like, this kid is too rotten. I can't watch him be a bad son.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's worth the risk. Also, it costs on average $1 million to raise a child till they're 18, and that doesn't even include if you like pay for their college. It's just
Can I adopt like a 20-year-old?
Cool mill. Yeah, I had that thought too, so that like they're available for you when you are like elderly, but you didn't really have to do that
I'll
much.
travel with you and I'll take you places and like we can hang out together. And
maybe 17. You're right on the cusp. You only have 3 bad years.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. The problem is anybody who you could adopt who's 17 is probably fucked up from not being adopted until they're 17. So it's key to find that fine line, right? Of like somebody who's like parents pass away, but they kind of hated their parents. They're like, this is a good thing, but I don't have a guardian. You're like, I'll do it. You know what I mean? It's almost like a CW show, or maybe you hate each other at first, but then you start to like each other. Right?
What is your goal? Is your goal to have like a caretaker or a friend?
Yeah, a caretaker. That's my big. Well, I think I want a little bit of both, but I feel like a caretaker is the most important.
I'm investing not any money because I don't have any, but if I did, I'm investing a lot of hope at least into robots. Like, you know, a robot will take care of me. Why not?
I've been talking about this idea of instead of like moving to an old folks home or moving to a retirement home when I can't sort of, actively like figure out a place and be like, I can adopt Lisa. Fantastic. I would love that, Lisa. Let's talk. But that we then take care of each other, right? Like I would love like almost like an old person, like not like even a commune, but like it's like a community, but like instead of it being a retirement community full of like strangers, it's like a retirement community full of like my friends and people who I know. And like I sort of feel like that's a cool idea.
So like a sorority for your elder years.
Yeah. Sort of like a sorority for my elder years.
I'm really looking forward to the 55 plus community. That's how I envision it.
But like made up of people we know instead of like going to like a random one and having to make new friends. Like I don't want to make new friends. You know what I mean? I've got people I know. Can we all just do it together? We're all basically the same age.
We should start now. We should buy a compound somewhere cheap.
Oh, now you're talking. This is what I've been saying.
I saw this really good listing. It just says there are wasps under the dressers, but it's very affordable otherwise.
I'm sure it's fine.
Take it.
Sore AARP.
Oh, amazing.
I like that. So
well done. But yeah, co-housing. I think it's a cool way of getting older.
I'm pretty into that idea. So keep me in mind in 30 years.
I'll put you on the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's a senior living home, like maybe like a good 10 minutes from where I am, and my folks, my mother's community theater company, they put on theaters in there because it has an auditorium. And honestly, I want to live there because it has like everything. It's got a bowling alley, it's got a pool, it's got a gym, it's got a cafeteria, it's got like literally like it's like being on a cruise almost like that. And
yeah,
it's like,
see, I feel like if I built or if like we built basically that, right? Like an old, like even building like a big basically retirement home, but knowing that like all the rooms or all the things are gonna be your friends, like, and then you move in there and then you all, since it's privately owned, like you get your own nurses. So you find a cool nurse who's like
Ooh.
you know, fucking cool as shit. And you're like, yeah, come live here and hang out and take care of us. And I don't know.
When we have a community theater, and our first production is Jaws, The Untold Story.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm gonna pitch that to them after this is over.
This is great.
Also, all the nurses are vampires.
Blood transfusions on demand.
Retirement home with vampire nurses and Jaws. But it's like my, teenage like fan fiction come to life.
Yeah, I'm wishing my life away to get to that age right now.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, this is it. It is sort of like a commune. Northwest Pennsylvania, Pfeiffer says their place is there. I went Tina Town in the chat says, I unfortunately have to buy property in Florida.
Okay.
Is that from like a family curse or something? I have to buy property in Florida.
It's like where all the old people migrate.
The judge said instead of time in prison, I had to buy.
I have to live in Florida.
Yeah, Tina got a job. She's moving down there to be a teacher at the University of Florida, which is really, really cool. So,
very cool.
But Tina took a job as a baron. So it's just.
Oh God! I was like, every time I hear someone's moving to Florida, I'm like, please don't let me like hear their name in the news as a Florida person's story. Like, I don't want to hear about.
Florida's crazy. I love the every couple weeks you hear about, and really only in Florida, somebody jumping a drawbridge, because I guess they have a lot of them down there because there's so many waterways.
Yeah.
But every couple weeks you hear about some car that's just like, nah, I'm fucking waiting. And they like burst through the gate and they go flying over the thing, and like they make it every time. And it's weird that it happens like it happens on the semi-regular down there. And
I have nightmares about really that funny. On like a regular basis.
Really?
That I'm like driving and then realize like it's a drawbridge and I'm just gonna like, anyone else?
Yeah. I dreamt I accidentally flew to Brazil last night.
Like got on the wrong plane?
Yeah, I meant to take the train to New York and somehow I accidentally boarded a plane to Brazil.
All right.
Pretty cool.
I was like messaging my friends who I agreed to meet in New York, and I was like, turns out I can't meet today. I was just like, oh my God, like my folks are gonna be like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in Brazil.
Oh, it's a stress dream. Those are the worst. Oh no.
I have to put up all of David's jokes because he keeps saying Rachel, please, and that's the rules. If he says,
"Oh, okay."
Please,
he asked really nicely, so we did it.
I haven't had any stress dreams about cars just because I stopped driving. There was like 3 years where I drove, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna ever enjoy this or get better at this. But like when I drove, I'm just like, this is the scariest fucking thing that people are supposed to do this every day.
Thank you. You're speaking my language right now.
I'm on the highway. I'm like, people do this just like casually. I'm like, everything's too fast, and I'm going to die. And the fact that I didn't is really it was just a
you got out at the right moment. You're like, this is not for me, and I'm out.
Yeah,
how do you feel when other people drive you?
Fine.
Okay, so you can be in cars.
I don't know why I implicitly trust other people to drive. When I'm driving, I'm like, I just wish someone would shoot me so I could stop feeling this.
I'm the opposite of that. If I'm in a car, I have to be driving. I don't have, but like, I really would rather be driving. It's a control thing. But I like driving, but I can see how it's stressful, especially city driving sucks. Like driving upstate, like or in the middle of nowhere is awesome. Like driving on empty back roads where it's like the only thing you're gonna do is like drive off the road and hit a tree. Like for 2,000 miles.
How?
Yeah. What do you do? Are you a sales person? Is that sales? It's got to be sales, right?
Or like a truck driver?
Following leads. Or just a long haul trucker.
Going on like a Eat, Pray, Love journey.
No, they would have walked 500 miles if you're in the Proclaimers.
Look, there's no songs about driving a long time.
Yeah, let's see. I would walk 1,000 miles. I would walk 500 miles. You're like,
yeah, what's the conversion rate? If you walk 500, then you drive 1,000, 2,000.
Oh man, we really thought you had some like wild job and you're just having fun and experiencing life in the country.
Yeah,
anticlimactic.
How dare you be enjoying life? We're like,
Yeah,
I was just like, this is the week we're gonna find out if Pfeiffer is an assassin or like a hitman, and like I kind of always knew, but like this week we really nailed it.
Long haul trucking used to be crazy because they didn't used to regulate it at all, so people would just drive like for hours and they'd all be speeded up. And nowadays, they like with GPS, they make you like pull over after a certain amount of time. They like there's laws where you can't drive more than a certain amount of miles, because they used to just have truckers who would like get into horrific accidents because they would have been awake for like 5 days straight, just like taking speed and driving down the highway. And that's a crazy life. I can't imagine that.
I follow this like subset of this community on TikTok of people who like they're nomads. They like live in their cars. I'm very fascinated by this life, and I learned that truck stops have like their own bathhouses where you like take a shower and stuff. I think that I don't know. I thought that was pretty. I like want to just go to a truck stop and take a shower just to see what it's like. No. They give you a towel.
That sounds gross. I'm sorry. That, to me,
no. It looks nice. They look nice, like for a truck stop.
For a truck. Okay, so okay.
You're like, this is a New York shower 5, but a gas station bathroom 10.
Yeah. I'm curious about it. They give you a towel.
Yeah.
They give you a towel.
Mm-hmm.
So is it like a locker? Like you get a locker key and you go.
They give you like a deli thing. Like you pick a number and then it tells you when your shower is ready and you have like a code to get in. It's so interesting.
So it's safe. It feels safe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like you're like locked in there so people can't come attack you.
It costs $12 to $15 for a shower at a truck stop.
That's surprisingly like that sounds like a spa almost.
Yeah, it's a spa. Let's go. I'll bring us some, face masks. We'll have a day of it. We'll get some Takis, Diet Coke. I really think this sounds like a treat.
Yeah. I've always wanted to try that. What is that thing?
Lounge?
I don't know about a lounge where you wait for your number to get called.
That's where we'll do our own pedicures.
Oh wow.
Katie, do you know that thing? You too may also know this. Is like, what is that thing that you like roll on your face?
The jade roller.
Jade roller. I've always wanted to try those because I'm like, what is going on with that?
Well, I'll get some for our truck stop spa day.
Thank you.
We'll wait in the lobby.
They're cleaned by a janitor in between every single use. Okay, I'm back on board.
Yeah.
Again, we have come like full circle. We were like so against this, and now we're all like, okay, let's do it.
Here's my only issue. It says truck stop showers are made for truckers, but anyone can use them. And I see like it being a thing about like, right, like you go in there and you spend an hour in there, you're like washing, and you come out and there's just a line of angry truckers just like waiting.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You're like, that was crazy, guys.
Like the last people I want to piss off are truckers.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, boys.
Any of you vampires?
We'll just do like one of those like makeup montages from a romantic comedy where we're all like all getting ready and then come out just to a line of angry truck drivers.
Yeah, just walk past us and Justin and I will have fake beards and we'll just do the ZZ Top thing.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm actually really interested in doing this.
All right, I'm in.
I feel like they don't exist in the Northeast, though. I feel like they're like, are there even truck stops here?
Can trucks even stop here?
Really? Like that. I'm imagining these things happen in like the Midwest.
Yeah. It's like Tremors Country. What's the movie? What's the movie where the two ladies die, but before they have an adventure?
Oh, Thelma and
Thelma and
Louise.
Louise.
Thelma and Louise.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, totally. It's an ancient film.
Yeah, a movie that's like 30 years old.
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point. Sweet.
It looks like there might be. There's a truck stop in Chicopee, but the shower was nasty, so that's got a bad Google. Got a bad Google.
No, I want to go to a 5-star truck stop.
Yeah, we'll find a good one here.
Maybe that one also that has like a Chick-fil-A, or not a Chick-fil-A, a Popeyes.
All these travel centers, this one's like ain't worth it. No showers until further notice.
Oh no.
Just at this one in New Hampshire. So we'll find a good one somewhere.
I think we have to go to the Midwest. I think we need to go on a journey.
I think you're right. We have to find the best truck stop shower. Maybe that should be a podcast that we do.
Yeah.
We go, like, we just take road trips to find truck stop showers.
I love that idea. Like,
That's
Actually, that's really fun. We should do that.
Yeah. All
And
right.
we can talk in the car as we get there, like wherever we're going. That'll be the thing.
I'm very into this.
That sounds great. Because I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. And I bet there are some that are really nice.
Yeah.
Like, I bet there are some ones that are better than others. Oh, no, that is the worst. Oh, I hate when the vending machines don't accept it.
No.
If ever, maybe try a different floor. That's the only thing I can think of, unless it's only in the lobby where they have it. But like, I find sometimes I'll just go up to the next floor, up or down, and their vending machines will work a little bit better. So hopefully you can figure it out. That is terrible.
Or
Also,
just get pizza delivered to your.
I was gonna just say that, or you could just get a pizza through like Uber Eats or something.
We're all
There's always
here
a
for you.
Domino's. There's always a Domino's or a Papa John's that's delivering at this time.
Always.
It's not too late.
Exactly.
Fiverr, what's important is that you keep us abreast of your progress. If you are sated, please let us know.
Please.
Great. We've heard about vampires and bees and sharks. Do we have any other animals, Justin? Any other animal stories or any other stories at all?
It was funny when we were talking about that sort of thing, and something that came up again in my brain was PETA, and I'm not sure if you saw, but yesterday apparently was National Boob Day.
Boob?
Yeah, BOOB.
Isn't every day National Boob Day? That's like what someone was saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree, but apparently officially, yeah. And PETA tweeted out, are you drinking from a cow's boobs this National Boob Day? And they had a cartoon of a human man basically sucking from the teat of a cow.
Yeah,
Oh.
so this is terrifying.
I'm really
and
not
I'm gonna share
liking
this.
some of this. I'm not liking some of this human-animal interaction trend that we
This
have
is
going
what
on. in
PETA. This is the ad that PETA.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't.
so gross.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the dude or the cow is enjoying it.
Uh,
The guy's like, this is the last time I'm doing this.
Yeah,
I
like,
Is it supposed to be like a vegan thing? I'm confused. What's the message here?
I think they're saying like this is supposed to be disgusting, and when we look at this, we should be disgusted by it. So then, not want to do it.
I can imagine a large cohort of people who probably are not disgusted by this image.
I mean, I don't even really know what to say.
Yeah, I think it's gross. It's a gross
Yeah.
image, but
I know what I want to say.
now PETA said, now that we have your attention, the dairy industry doesn't want you to watch this because they're literally dying for you to see it. And then they posted a video. So-
There's other ways to get people's attention than a gross cartoon.
Personally, I think that PETA is an op. I think a PETA is designed to make animal rights advocacy groups look ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think they are COINTELPRO. Put on your hats, guys. We're going. We're talking about the CIA.
Tinfoil hat. PETA and tinfoil hats did not think that was ever gonna happen.
No, it makes sense though, because they are so sort of over the top and ridiculous about it. If we could have an 8-foot cow.
Who's
vampire.
like very, who's just like,
Yeah, put that hat on the cow.
This whole episode has its own like Marvel-esque universe to it.
It's a really weird Marvel-esque universe in this episode. It's really weird.
the Moosey U. It's the Moosey U.
Oh no. PETA's weird. Fur's weird. I remember when my grandmother, when we were like, when she passed away, she had this like super nice fur coat. Like it was like gorgeous. But my mom and my sister were both like, we can't ever wear this. And right. But I could objectively be like, that's beautiful. Like that is gorgeous. It was like a long mink coat, right? It was like beautiful. But I was like, yeah, that's like, what do you do with that at this point? Like, do you sell it to a museum? Do you?
I was just gonna say, put it. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's such a weird thing. Like, and I guess there are people who might say like a vintage one you can wear because it's like it already exists. It's not like. But it's weird. It's weird. I think I don't know what they ended up doing. I think they ended up selling it.
You don't think a mink coat would go with your aesthetic?
I wish they had kept it. I might have rocked it now.
Yeah.
I bet it's super warm. But it was a gorgeous coat. But I remember, like, even at the time, my mom was like, "I'm not wearing that. There's no way." People were getting paint thrown on them. Remember that for a while?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is also weird in its own way, I guess.
I think that happened to like Kim Kardashian or Paris Hilton or one of them, right?
One of them, yeah. I think they were wearing a literal fox at the time, though, like an entire fox, which is weird too.
Yeah. Well, so okay, I agree. Yes. I agree.
But,
period. And no but. And yes, and
yes, and
I also really like taxidermy though, but usually those animals are like die of natural causes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm not into like wall mounted like killings, but like other taxidermy.
Oh, you would hate my uncle's apartment then, because he's a huge like mountain man type person. So he has. Way back years ago, he was hunting for a deer and a bear attacked him, and but not like Leo in the Revenant attack, but it like went after it chased him. I should have said sorry.
It growled around him.
Yeah, it hunted him and chased him, but he killed it before it could hurt him, and he hung it on his wall, and even
just the head.
No, the whole thing. He had it like removed, and it's like on his wall, and you're going like,
oh,
yeah. I've been, I've been seeing that thing since I was like a little kid, but I'm so afraid that it's still gonna at some point just like jump off the wall and like go on a run.
Yeah, get its revenge.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just like you were just going for deer. Where was I part of the plan or something?
Did you read? There was a crazy story in I think it was the New York Times last week about. A dude in the Alaskan outback who like some scientists were like flying through a valley that they don't like normally fly through, like in the middle of nowhere. And they saw a dude who was waving to them like this. And so they went, and he had been awake for 4 days straight because he had been hunted by a grizzly bear. He was being like hunted, and he kept shooting at the bear whenever it got too close, but the bear was basically like tracking him and following him, and he didn't have like a tent, and he was just in the middle of nowhere. He got lost and separated. It's like this bear was hunting him for 4 days, and he had to stay awake because if he fell asleep, the bear was just going to fucking eat him. So he just stayed awake, and he was down to his last couple bullets, and then the helicopter flew over, and if it hadn't, they said he was going to die.
So was he trying to actually kill the bear?
No.
Oh, that's nice of him. He's like, I don't want to kill you, but I also don't want to die.
I don't think he could have killed the bear. That bear is so big.
What a real moral dilemma.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. At some point, a bear dragged him down to the river He had a pistol, and he said the bear kept coming back every night, and he hadn't slept in a few days. That's fucking crazy.
Oh God.
Oh man.
I admire the ambition on the Bears' part. Never give up on a dream.
If you're gonna eat somebody,
I think people like underestimate how powerful grizzly bears are. Like I'm pretty sure they can like knock your head off if they hit you with their big old paw. And it's probably what happened is like if he's not hunting bears and his bullets probably couldn't even penetrate the hide when he's shooting it.
Yeah, I think a grizzly bear is crazy strong. So yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine being hunted by that grizzly bear. But that's what I was thinking. I also like taxidermy. I like weird taxidermy. I asked a friend who went to Mexico to bring me back something weird, and I lost it because this was in college, unfortunately. But he brought me back a squirrel smoking a bong. Somebody had taxidermied a squirrel with like a mini bong in its hand, but it was a real squirrel. And they had glued a mini bong and a mini lighter into the other hand.
You made that squirrel
the weirdest fucking
cool.
thing. Yeah, that squirrel hung out in our living room for a long time, and then I'm sure somebody just took it during a party or something.
That's so sad.
I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
But
sorry
it's a
for your
bummer.
loss.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's like you can't replace something like that.
There was a class at Harvard, like a one-day class. I don't know how often they do it. My biggest regret is not signing up, but you could do like a taxidermy class and you get to take home your own squirrel. So I'll keep an eye out in case that comes back. And
God, yes.
You could make your own squirrel with a bong or whatever, you choose.
Would that be, is that like at the Harvard furthering education school?
It was through the Museum of Natural History.
Yeah. Oh man, just looking at taxidermy on Etsy right now, there's some real weird shit that you can get.
Interesting.
You can get a cowboy duck, like a duck taxidermy to look like a cowboy or a punk rock duck. They're like little ducklings.
I think I want my taxidermy in its like authentic state,
Yeah, you're not looking for like wacky situations. I
don't want somebody who I don't want to impose my lifestyle on my dead squirrel.
Who, again, not to kink shame anybody, but there's something, I'm not even sure I can show it, so I'm just going to describe it. It's a snail shell, but then somebody has clearly created what looks to be a very human penis coming out of that shell as if it was the snail. And the penis is painted like a snail, but it is shaped very clearly like a penis. And I'm like, why? Who is that for? It's $102.
Whoa!
It costs so much.
Ben,
I had a question. Can you just name really quickly a celebrity you admire, just real fast?
A celebrity I admire? Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Okay, so my hope for you is that you're watching an interview with Keanu Reeves on YouTube, as we all do, and you'll notice behind him on his mantle, first of all, the snail dildo. I want him to have the snail dildo behind him, and then right next to it, I want him to have the squirrel bong that you've missed. And you're just like, how did Keanu Reeves get my squirrel bong? And I want that to be a thing that you have to figure out.
I want that really badly. I really want to show this snail penis, and I think I can because it's not set. Like, I'm just going to show it really quickly for a couple seconds, and then we're just going to like get it off there. But I want you to see this because it's really weird. So here's the snail penis. Trigger warning to anybody who might not want to see it. Here we go.
I definitely want to see it.
Whoa!
Oh, wow, it's pretty realistic.
Yeah,
right?
It's smaller than I expected.
I wonder I've said that a lot of times too, Justin.
Yeah, sorry.
Who wants that? Look at that. What a weird thing that is.
I kind of want it. Do you think they would negotiate the price down?
Maybe.
It's definitely not worth $105.
It's 7 centimeters by 7 centimeters by 12 centimeters.
I feel like it should be buying me a drink, and then I'll take it.
I'm sure you can get that for $15 on Wish right now.
The reviews are great. I'm beyond satisfied. I received this as a gift from my lover, and it's literally the absolute best thing I've ever seen. It's true artwork. I've named him Raoul, and he's pure perfection. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, this does kind of bring us back to the beginning because my job and my character in Dungeons and Dragons, what I do for a living is I make ceramic nudes. I personally have not made a dick in a shell, but now I have more inspiration. So.
You should maybe try that angle, like where you're like, you should model for me for my nudes.
Why did I not think of that? That is so smart, Ben.
See if you can do like the Patrick Swayze Demi Moore ghost thing, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, once you're modeling,
me behind the vampire. I like that. Yeah,
I like that too.
Hey, baby, I have a squirrel that I need to taxidermy. Why don't you pose later and I can put the squirrel in the pose that you're doing?
I feel like you want that.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
He doesn't understand how many of all of our interests align.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you to sleep with this vampire, and I want updates on it. I think people need to know what happened, so you're gonna need to let us know.
Yeah, I will be following this story very closely.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention this story. This is probably one of my earliest comedy life stories, but I'll make long story short. I was watching Ben Stein on TV. He had an appearance on TV, and he got his dog taxidermied. And I was telling my folks about it the next morning while we were in church, and it was before church had started. And my mother was just like, "Well, was the dog standing up at all?" And I just went, "Well, not after the truck hit it." And yeah, and for some reason, my mother just burst out laughing and just would not stop. It's we're in church, the pre-mass music is playing, and she's just. And I'm just well, I was 10 years old when this happened, so I was just like, why is she so I was being 100% sincere, and she was just crazy about it, and I was just like, what? The dog was lying down, it wasn't gonna be standing up, it was run over by a truck, why is that funny? And I don't know, it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't get it, but I made my mother laugh, so I'm a proud son in this moment.
Oh,
and that's also why you're banned from that church.
Yeah, no, exactly. Let me say, just long enough to have first communion, then I had to change churches because it was just
That's really so. As you were talking about that, I began to think about there's also this idea that and rich people have been doing it lately is cloning your pets, right? When they die, and it's a thing that you can do now, and it is shockingly cheaper than I thought it was.
Wait, really? I'm very interested because my cat is the most important person in my life, and should he ever die, I will be institutionalized. So,
cat cloning allows cat owners to extend the opportunity for the unique happiness and companionship that a beloved cat brings. Cat added special presence to a home and relation, blah, 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 blah. They're the world leader in animal cloning. Here. Over the past 15 years, they've invested significantly to advance in groundbreaking technology. We've successfully cloned thousands of cows, hundreds of horses, and we are now doing pets. A cloned cat is simply a genetic twin of your current cat, born at a later date and time. It does not change the genetic makeup of your cat at all, and it does not make any genetic modifications. Your cloned cat will share many of the most important attributes of your current cat, including appearance, intelligence, and temperament. It'll be just as healthy and live just as long as your current cat, and no more susceptible to health issues than any other cat.
Oh God, I really
will it have the memories of all those nights.
You can do it. It costs $1,600 just to get the DNA together.
Oh,
and I'm sure it's more money than that, but that's honestly less than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is that I love the shit out of my dog, but I didn't get to see my dog.
I love the shit out of your dog too. You have a great dog.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I never got to hang out with my dog as a baby, as a puppy, because we got him when he was already two. I know it's way too much money, but I'm just like, oh man, if I could hang out with my dog as a puppy, I could finally fill in that blank.
I think it's worth it.
Now, what's fucking weird? Here's a weird idea though, Because you're supposed to do it when your dog dies, but what if you do it while your dog's still alive?
Yeah, that was gonna be my. And,
And then it's the same dog, and then they're looking at each other, and it's like, it's me, and they probably like that's got to be fucking weird. And then what if you made a whole pack of your own dog?
I know. I wouldn't want to offend my animal, but I also feel like I'm gonna need a crossover pet. Like I feel like I can't. It's just got to. Otherwise I'll die. There needs to be immediately another loved pet in my life.
I hear that.
Wonder if you could find one.
I wonder how long does the pet have to be dead before the window closes? Because I've got a rabbit in the backyard that's been there for about 10 years.
I think that's probably too long. I think you need to get because you need the genetic preservation biopsy kit. So yeah, I think you need to get it while they're alive. You need to get the.
I was so worried about where that was going.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Like, yeah, where's this dead bunny? I'm like, why?
Yeah, no, like I had a pet rabbit from like 4th grade to like 10th grade, and so obviously I was very upset when she passed, and I was like, oh, if there's a chance, I could just dig her up and get her.
In order to initiate a successful genetic preservation, timing and proper procedure are critical. If your pet has just passed away, please call this number to speak to a person. Refrigerating and not freezing the tissue sample after death is the critical first step. They should then be collected as soon as possible. Considering there's probably not much tissue left, then I don't think it's going to work, my friend.
I don't know, but I'm glad we had this conversation so that I know to put my dead cat in the refrigerator.
Ugh, be careful.
Not the freezer.
Not the freezer.
Like move over my HelloFresh bags and pop them in.
Be sure to keep it away from the leftovers.
Oh man, this is a crazy idea. Is a pet born through the cloning process physically and behavior identical to the original pet? Yes.
Who does this? Who's like the Barbara Streisand, right?
Yeah,
she's
Barbara
like
Streisand is the big one who does it. Yeah.
She's done it like several times to one dog. She's basically had the same dog for like decades, right?
Dogs are $50,000 and cats are $35,000.
Yeah, yet another reason to not have a kid.
Save up for that.
Yeah, start a CD for my cat clone.
And here I was thinking cats and dogs were about the same price, and humans were about the same price.
No. And a horse is $50,000. So,
whoa!
I think it's kind of interesting that they started with such large animals.
Yeah, you think it'd be easier with a smaller
because
animal.
They're dumber, the larger animals.
An easier system, maybe. Yeah, like an easier.
Here's a question: do like invertebrates have feel things?
I think if they have to have a nervous system, right?
Wait, do what feel things? What feel things?
Invertebrates.
Invertebrates.
The balance of evidence suggests that most do not feel pain or anything.
Yeah. Okay. I had an argument about this with my sister the other day because I watched a seagull literally murder a crab, and I thought it was quite interesting, but my sister was very upset about it, and I was like, I don't think it can feel what's happening. And she said, she got all PETA on me. All animals have feelings. So
yeah, I wonder. That's interesting.
It's funny. Is it also weird that my same flight to Brazil, I also dreamt about having to cook a crab?
Nice.
And I had to remove its limbs for some reason, like so that I could cook it because it was like crawling away and that sort of thing. So I almost had to like pick its limbs out. Like what?
You had to murder it.
Yeah, basically. Which aren't you supposed to cook them while they're still alive though, like lobster?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you kill it right away. I mean, they just say that because they don't want you to be, cooking a day-old dead lobster. But a lot of times they'll kill a lobster actually by stabbing it right in the back of the shell right here. You stab it right in the brain, and then you can boil it. So you kill it right before you boil it.
That's different. That's different than like gremlins, where you just kind of throw them in the microwave.
Oh yeah.
You just watch them explode.
It's like, I don't eat lobster. You can't microwave lobster, but you can microwave a crab.
I think we need to get a psychic on here to figure out what the Brazil crab dream means. Anyone?
Yeah, I don't know what it means. Tell me more about this.
When I think of Brazil, here are the things I think of when I think of Brazil. Favela Funk, the last Olympics, people who say, come to Brazil. The president who gets COVID every 2 weeks. He's very sick all the time. He's like a bad guy, so it's funny. What else about Brazil? It's a big country. They speak Portuguese. Justin, am I being helpful?
I honestly, some of that stuff was like I had just learned for the first time, and some stuff it was like, oh, I haven't thought about that in a while. My brain was like the movie Brazil,
which has like nothing to do with
the movie.
Oh yeah, with Robert De Niro, and it's a Terry Gilliam movie.
Yeah, it's like.
I love that you say that it has Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro has like 6 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, but he's probably the most well-known actor in it, right? Like,
I don't know. I think Jonathan Pryce is a household name.
Yeah, the dude was a Bond villain, for God's sakes.
I haven't seen a single movie that you have referenced in this entire hour and a half. It's not one of the movies, including Jaws. I've never seen Jaws.
Jaws is great.
But I am fully prepared to write his origin story. So.
Well, you got to do
Jaws 2 is
research
also
then.
great.
What?
I maintain that Jaws 2 is a very good movie. The others not so much, but Jaws 2 is a great sequel.
No, Jaws 4: The Revenge is fun to watch. Ironically,
how many Jaws movies are there?
4 or 5.
How many fish are in the ocean?
Yeah. There's a famous quote because Michael Caine was in Jaws 4: The Revenge. In fact, he won his Academy Award for that movie, and he or not for that movie. He won for Hannah and Her Sisters, but he couldn't accept the award because he was filming Jaws 4: The Revenge, which is hilarious. And then in an interview, somebody was like, Jaws 4 is a piece of shit. And he's like, yeah, I never saw Jaws 4, but I did see the house that Jaws 4 bought me, and that house is pretty nice.
Nice.
So that's basically his quote. He's like, I didn't see the movie, but I did see the house. The house is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like bad movies. There's something really fun about a bad movie.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you should totally watch it. It's like you'll laugh.
Should I start with Jaws 4?
You maybe should actually, because it is called Jaws 4: The Revenge. So if you want to talk about from the shark's point of view, this shark literally hunts her down, the wife of the chief of police who killed this shark's mother.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my God. So it kind of is already okay. No.
Yeah. You need to watch it to at least put it together.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah, the tagline is even this time it's personal. And for some reason, not too much to spoiler, but like she has almost like a psychic connection with the shark. Like she can like sense when the shark is near, like it's her spider sense or something like that. Yeah,
it's the best.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Fantastic. This sounds great.
Yeah, it's like amazingly bad.
Brazil's also pretty good.
What's that, Rich?
Brazil's also pretty good.
Yeah.
Brazil's also very good. Very different than Jaws. In fact, that would be a weird double feature.
It's so good, it's good. Brazil.
Watch the it's just about time to wrap up the show here. It's 10:30. So we're gonna wrap up the show in a second. Brazil has like 18 different cuts of that film. It's hard to find the one that like Terry Gilliam actually wants you to watch. I think that must be the Criterion Collection one at this point. Is the one, but like it was famously recut by the
studios.
Studios. I think the most absolutely nothing to do with the original vision of the film in some ways.
Yeah, I think the most depressing ending is the canonical ending because the studio said, "Oh no, we don't want to. We want to give people a happy ending," and it was like, "That's not my vision."
Yeah. Terry Gilliam was not feeling that. He's never feeling that. Anyway. What a fun show. We've talked about vampires and all sorts of animals, and I learned a lot, and this is a blast. So thank you so much to my guests, Justin, Katie, Rachel, the guest in perpetuity, which I love. Thanks to everybody out there in Chatland for watching and supporting the show. If you don't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We're doing shows all the time during the week, 7 days a week. So throw us some cake and help us keep going. We also have a Patreon /2MB Studios. You can also support us there. What other shows we got? Rachel has a show tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Where she's going to be writing some jokes on Twitter. Those are always amazing. It's a really fun show. Hit her up and let her know what you wanted to write jokes about. If you hit the 2MB Twitter and say, write a joke about this, damn it, she'll try. She'll try to write a joke about that.
I hope it won't be good. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. It'll be a joke.
It'll be a joke. And then on Thursday, we got QAW, Quarantine Action Wrestling. Catch that before it goes away. That's an awesome show. A bunch of other stuff as well. You can catch the entire schedule below where you're looking right now down there. So I think that's the show, everybody. Anybody have any last words, any last thoughts?
I appreciate, I'm going to cut out, a slight piece of the neck of all my turtlenecks. And I'm going to get my vampire daddy.
Yeah, get that vampire daddy. May we all get our vampire daddy, whatever that is. May you get your vampire daddy. Until next week, friends. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.